Why Twilight Sparkle is exactly like the Vice President of the United States of America. Now you may be going, wait a second, I don't know, Twilight was an old white guy. But no, that's not what I mean at all. So you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and make this quick and... Basically, I realized this after going over that one scene from Rarity Takes Manehattan.
You know the one.
You know, the one scene where Twilight's like, "Oh, can you give my friend a taxi?" And he's like, "No, I don't want no taxi for you." And literally everyone, every commentator, every analysis person, every brony ever, all said at the same time, "Oh, wait a second, but she's an Alucard. That doesn't make any sense. She has wings. She's a princess. Why aren't you giving her what she wants?" However, I'm okay with this scene, for 3 reasons at least. First of all, it takes place in Manehattan, aka Pony version of New York. If you're in New York and there's a bunch of crowds of people all trying to get to a certain place, they don't really care if you're the Queen of England. They're gonna shove you right out of the way and be like, "Oh, blam!" And by that I mean they won't really say anything because they'll be so busy trying to get to where they're trying to go. So if there is a line waiting for a taxi in New York, they're probably not gonna give it over to someone just because they may have some royal lineage.
Reason number 2.
It actually helps with the moral of the story, surprisingly enough. One of the reasons I and many other people like Rarity Takes Manehattan is because of the moral. The moral is really good. Like, it's not just saying, "Oh, it's good to be generous because what goes around comes around like a volleyball." But it also explores multiple facets of that whole idea. And this scene helps establish one of them. Basically, you might be the most generous person in the world, but at some point people are just gonna say, "No, I'm busy, I'm trying to do my thing. Trying to do my thing." And the third reason, as you can probably guess by the title of this video, is the fact that Twilight Sparkle is basically the Vice President of the United States of America. Now, for those of you who don't live in the US or just need a government lesson real quick, I'm gonna explain to you real quick what the Vice President has to do with anything. Basically, the Vice President's duties can really be summarized in 3 points. First of all, he leads a group of really powerful lawmakers, but doesn't actually make any of the decisions himself unless there's like a tie or something. Second, he participates in events and festivals and stuff like that, and he just has to make an appearance because technically, by title, he is the second in command, technically speaking. But his third, and pretty much his most important role, is that if anything bad happens to the president, he basically takes over. Like, completely takes over and is the president. The leader. Now let's take that checklist of vice president duties and run it past what Twilight has been doing. Leading a small group of people to do some pretty powerful things and causing good in the place and whatnot. Check. Being at ceremonies and whatnot, even though playing second fiddle to the true leaders. Check. And when those true leaders suddenly disappear, and when something bad happens to the leader, such as, oh, I don't know, disappearing, suddenly she takes over. Check. So yeah, that's why. This is also why I am actually perfectly okay with the way Season 4's been treating Twilight Sparkle's alicornness and whatnot. Because she's basically Vice President. Who cares about that, right? No one. It's like the butt of jokes everywhere. And also, wasn't everyone complaining, like, at the end of Season 3 that they were really hoping that the dynamic wouldn't change? Well, she's still in her library, so anything can happen. This epic tale. And goodbye. I have nothing else to say. I said goodbye. I have nothing else to say.
I said goodbye.